Table to sit up here.
Hey,
how's everyone doing?
Goodness.
Oh, except
How
now
y'all
we can't see any of the
doing?
comments.
Oh, yeah, we can't. That's all right. We know y'all there. Hi.
All
we
right.
See you.
You know, the girls take a week off, and you forget how to do the whole fucking thing. So.
Listen, and sometimes it's absolutely necessary, but
right.
We are gonna say hello to. I see Louboutin and Eccentric. How y'all doing?
How's everyone doing today? What's going on? What's happening? What's the gaga? What's the gags?
What's the tea, honey? What's going on? So we took a little week off.
Yes,
that was necessary.
Very necessary.
It was just necessary. So we're gonna go ahead and leave it at that. Everything's all right. Everyone's good. All is well. Hey, Spesh. All is copacetic, but we needed to have that time to get ourselves together. So we just needed a moment.
Nothing bad. It was just it's a lot going on with life. Is that a cocktail that I see?
Listen, we're gonna get to that in just one second, but
okay.
Should we get to that now first? And then
let's get to that
now. Okay, so listen, I want y'all to know that I'm not necessarily a mixologist.
Mm-hmm.
Howsoever, I had a little taste for a little lemon drop cocktail.
Yes,
a little.
That's my favorite.
So I'm gonna go ahead and pour this out.
Okay,
and we're going to.
You like my plastic cocktail mug?
Listen,
were you with me?
These were from the little Wilton Manors, right?
Yeah, from the little consignment shop.
Yes. Let me fill you up. I'm sorry. Let's get that. Yeah, I don't want you to drop and waste any liquor because that's
no, never. I'll get down and suck it out of this carpet.
That is a hate crime when you waste liquor like that. So
yes,
we are going to we are going to drink and toast and celebrate life. That's what we're going to do. So we're going to do that. So cheers.
Cheers, queers. All right. Oh, she's festive. She's sweet and strong.
I kind of like her.
She's got a little strength to her.
I kind of like her. I was playing around in a little kitchen a little bit. I had a little taste for a little lemon drop. And I kind of played with it. So that's what I like her. I take my inspiration from, this is so awful because I'm an alcoholic. I take my inspiration from one of the former bartenders at the Fireplace who used to make lemon drops, and he made it with a sweet and sour mix.
Just for a second. I'm gonna scooch my chair back a little bit.
He made it with a
feels like you're spitting in my face. You're not actually. You actually were not. It just felt like felt like we were a little close there.
Yeah,
turn the camera just a wee bit, I think.
No, I think we're good.
I feel like I'm out of the frame.
We're good. You scooted over a little too much.
I know, we're good. But it just feels just a little
wrong direction if you're gonna turn it.
There you go. All right.
So yeah, I think so we're good. But
all right, that's perfect. Now there we go. That's perfect. So to answer Eccentric's question, right now the turkey breast is marinating in buttermilk. And tomorrow she will be coated in an assortment of herbs and spices. Well, she'll be dried off first. Coated in a series of secret herbs and spices.
So this is not the Colonel.
Saturated.
But wait, Can we talk about Tony Satchery on an orange? Can we talk about that?
Really?
Bitch, get you an orange and put some Tony Satchery on that orange and eat that.
Okay.
Bitch, bitch.
And I was joking. It wasn't actually Tony Satchery. It's my own homemade blend.
But let's talk about Tony Satchery and an actual.
Okay.
Like, get your pieces and listen. I'm telling you.
So the turkey breasts have been pounded flat. They're marinating in a buttermilk brine, and tomorrow dry them off. Herbs and spices, rolled up, wrapped in bacon, and baked. And tonight I will be putting on.
You had me at bacon.
I'll be putting on the pot roast. So the pot roast will be covered in a seasoned flour and then seared, then put in a crock pot with. Now this is it. So it's going to. This is 3 different preparations all in one.
Do you do this with? Do you use red wine at some point to break it down?
No, but I can.
Okay,
but I don't need to.
No, but I'm asking.
So there's 3 preparations. Have you ever had Mississippi pot roast?
I don't think I have.
Mississippi pot roast is basically you put the pot roast in a pan and then you cover it with banana peppers and juice. It is not spicy, but it just flavors it.
I had
there's that. Then there's also just using like beef broth and some crushed tomatoes.
Okay.
And then also beef broth. And now this is weird, but it's good, Alfredo sauce. Because when you use it forever, the Alfredo sauce breaks down. So it's not like the actual Alfredo sauce. You thin it down and it's like a gravy. So this is going to be, I'm gonna make a slurry of crushed tomatoes, the banana peppers, the banana pepper juice, Alfredo sauce, a little bit of beef broth, and some water. It's going to be carrots, celery, and onions in the bottom of the crock pot.
Okay.
Then some of the liquid, then the meat, more of the liquid, a ton of herbs, a ton of sprigs of rosemary and thyme. I'm gonna do that before I go to bed at like at 11 o'clock tonight.
Okay.
Then when I get up around 8 or 9 o'clock, she'll be ready to go. Then I can just separate all those juices. Then I finally get to use my fat extractor for the gravy, so then I can extract that gravy and then make a good gravy. Then, like I said, the turkey breast is already pounded flat, so you just make the bacon weave. And making a bacon weave is real easy. You lay down the strips of bacon, and then you pull back alternating strips, and then you lay down another piece. You put those strip backs, now opposite piece, and then put down another strip. Then you do all of that. Then I'm going to lay the turkey breast that's been marinating in there. Roll she up. Well, actually, you roll it up and then you roll the bacon weave around the whole thing. Because if you put the bacon weave inside of it, it's not going to get
crispy. It'll be cooked,
right? But it won't be crispy. So what you want is the bacon crispy on the outside. So we have pot roast, the bacon wrapped turkey breast. I'm also making mashed potatoes. Making a mess of mashed potatoes.
Your mashed potatoes are really good.
Yes. You just put them in a crock pot with a stick of butter, a stick of cream cheese, like 11,000 cloves of garlic, and just a little bit of salt.
Because garlic is salty as is. But pepper,
you don't want to, and all of the other stuff, because I'm going to have 2 different kinds. I bought 2 gravy boats. Because we're going to have the gravy.
Is this where we are in our lives now? We're getting excited over gravy boats?
No. I'm not getting excited over that. I am realizing that I am becoming that old gay because I was like, why buy Chinette? I have all of these dishes. Because I went to, this was like 4 years ago, I went to At Home.
Right.
And bought plates. So I hesitate to call it China because it ain't like redwood bone China.
But still, it
is porcelain. It is porcelain.
Okay.
So they had a set, but you just buy the pieces that you want. So 12 plates for $19.99, 12 salad plates for $12.99, and 12 bowls for $10.99.
Okay.
Or 6 bowls. So I bought 24 of everything. So now all of that. So we're going to eat off a real plates tomorrow and real dishes, and I have cake stands at different heights.
I saw. So the preparation. Let's be clear. If you walk through his kitchen, the preparation right now.
There's going to be pictures of tablescapes.
It's shit all over the place, and it's like shit's piled up. And I was like, you know what? And I can't even get mad at him because everybody does shit differently. But listen, cooking for me, I hate cooking because let me be clear. I like to cook, but I hate to wash dishes. And it's the preparation.
Listen, I cook, therefore I don't wash dishes.
Well, no, what I'm saying is it's the preparation that annoys me because I realize I have to cook and also then wash the dishes. So I won't cook. So, but as I'm looking at your preparation and how it's laid out, it's already pieced together. So that you just kind of say, I've already cooked and used the dishes for this, and these things are clean. This is the product of what I have, and I have to just put it together and make it something.
Exactly.
That's where you are. So, but for me, all the cooking and stuff happens, and then it goes into it. There's no step into this and then into that. It's from this into this.
Right. Because I've been doing this for 13 years since I had this house. And like the first couple of years, it was like that mad dash because you don't get started when you don't know you don't get started until Thursday morning. And then I'm like, what's going on? And people be like, I thought you said dinner was at 3. It's like 6. I was like, you can always leave.
No,
always leave.
Yeah, I've never waited till Thursday morning to get started. I've always, especially when it comes to like the seasoning of meats and stuff, because you want them to be really seasoned.
But see, I've also learned the secret of prepping meats in a way that don't require a lot of prep ahead of time. Like I'm searing the pot roast tonight, but you don't have to. I could put that raw ass pot roast in the slow cooker, and in 13 hours it's going to be perfectly fine. You're not going to know. You're not going to be like, oh, was this pot roast seared before? You won't know. You won't even know.
It depends on how and that's funny because even when it comes to pot roast, like I learned that trick of searing my meat first and then putting it into the oven. And then I was like, oh my God, this is so much better because it cuts down on some time, but it gives me the look and the consistency of the roast beef and
that using a fucking crock pot.
Listen, a crock pot is amazing.
Then you don't have to turn on the oven.
Baby,
I can put that shit on.
That crock pot is
it's working while I'm asleep.
Yep, it is. And that's the best thing in the world. When you wake up in the morning
and the house smells
like bitch, and you take that top off for the first time, you see the water bubbles.
It's just all bubbling.
It's like, and you're like, I'm gonna fuck you up in about 2 or 3 hours.
I'm to wear this shit out.
But then there's a little piece that fell off on the side. Look, there's a piece that fell off on the side.
Like, so you know what else I did, right? So the turkey breast had some skin on it. So I took the skin off because marinating the skin doesn't help. I saved it though. Because what I'm going to do is in the bottom of the roaster is the skin. So if somebody wants the crispy skin later, but what's going to happen is that skin is going to render out with the juices. Then I bought a butterball, so it comes with a gravy packet. I'm not sure if I'm going to use that gravy packet that came with it, but what I'm definitely going to do is use all of the drippings, including the drippings that came off of that rendered turkey skin, and then make my gravy with that.
That is the one. There are 2 things in this world that I cannot do consistently good. Making rice, which is always weird. And I've had several people tell me just get a rice pot because I don't know what it is. I just, for whatever reason, my rice comes out clumpy. It's always like it's always I just can't do it. And making gravy from scratch.
Yes.
While I know how to do it, there's something that I'm missing, and so it's like, oh well, I'm not making no gravy, so we'll have au jus. That's what we'll have. That's what we'll be having.
That's exactly what we're having.
And so that's kind of where I am. So I recognize that. I'm good with that. Everything else, I'm like, I ain't doing that. So, hey Mufasa, hey Lola.
Hey, while y'all keep talking, you keep talking. Tell the people how your week was. I realize I need the cordless keyboard.
Yes,
plug in.
So yes,
bam.
So okay, so here we are. Excuse me, sir. You're in my light. Thank you. All of my light. You're in it. You're in the light. Thank you. Okay, so let's just talk about my week. So my week has been pretty interesting. I don't know if I'm going to share this because I don't necessarily know if I've been talking about it before, but I think I mentioned it on the show before. I had a interview and it seemed to go very well. And I actually got to speak to the president of the institution that I've been interviewing for this position there. And it was very impressive to me because I felt like the president understood the work that I would be doing if I took the position. And it's kind of like you work for any large corporation and the head of the corporation knows exactly what it is that
which
you
is
know
unusual
what you're
because a
doing.
lot of times they don't know what the fuck's going on.
Right, they don't know what you're doing, how you do it.
So that means you are.
So I was very
you will be
impressed.
up in the echelon.
Yeah, I was very
means
impressed by that.
When you fuck up, you're going to get a call. Not when, but if.
Listen,
you'll get a call directly from the president. He'll be like, "Hey, Epic,
but
why don't you meet me in my office at 8:00 tomorrow morning?"
Interestingly,
and by the way, bring your laptop and your cell phone and all your keys and your company credit card.
But interestingly enough, my conversation wasn't really a conversation. Whoa, Nelly! Whoa! Oh, she sneaks up on you a little bit there.
A little bit.
Mm-hmm. It's a little bite.
I zigged when I should have zagged.
Interestingly enough, when I didn't really speak, they spoke.
That's good because that lets you know that they already want you because there's not a whole. They don't. If
I
they
was
got
like,
a lot of questions for you, then that could be a thing. But if the whole interview is them talking about blah blah blah, and if they fuck up and start talking like you already got the job, like they're like, so on Monday we have these meetings and you'll be like, bitch, I don't even work here yet, but apparently.
So she didn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
However, the conversation was very much of like, you know, leading a staff, and if you don't have this experience, so forth and so on, they'll be able to tell, like all these different things. And I was like, girl, listen, I appreciate what in my mind I'm saying to myself, girl, I appreciate what you're saying, but girl, I'm 25 years into this game. Like I'm 25 years into this game, and the population of people that I will be dealing with, baby, I know this population because I was this population. So let's not have that conversation. Like I get it. And
she told you on the jump that the girl's gonna be stunting on you?
Not necessarily that, but again, it's
she said,
but
if you don't know what you're doing,
right? So
that means they always ready to pull a stunt.
And that's okay because bitch, listen, I am that
stunt
population.
Queen. Stunt queen.
Listen. I will never
listen. I know how to pull a work stunt.
Yeah, I was gonna say I will never not claim the title or claim something that I'm not or have never done. So let me be clear with that. But that went well. But then I also had a third
for another job.
No, it was. I don't know if it's the second or the third for the same position where they wanted to have a quick conversation. Then I had to submit a writing sample. So it's really weird because we were on Zoom and they said, "Okay, I'm going to stay in the room."
So did it start off? And there I was, mayonnaise on my titties.
It was actually barbecue sauce and a tutu, but that's okay. But so we started a conversation really briefly.
Down.
It's going to sneak up on you.
She is. That's fine.
And
tomorrow's a holiday.
It is, but you still got cooking to do.
So do you, bitch. And you didn't even put on the list. You didn't even put on the list what you was bringing.
We'll talk about that afterwards.
Let me just pause. Let me explain something to you. And Epic knows this. I see Mufasa. Hey, Mufasa and Lola. I'm sorry, we did not ignore you. We will save you a piece of German chocolate cake for just for you. But so you'll see the list, right? And the list says that there are 12 people coming for Thanksgiving, whether it's 12 or 20 or whatever. Now, I recognize that as the host of said function, I'm probably going to spend a little bit more money because I like to cook, for one, and two, there's just stuff that goes with it. Here's how you don't get invited back. Bring, like if you're going to say, and no one's doing this, by the way, but say, oh, I'm going to bring dinner rolls, which is fine. That's a fine contribution because everybody don't know how to cook. And if you don't know how to cook, Thanksgiving is not the time to be experimenting on it. But you're going to bring like a 4-pack of rolls. Bitch, you saw there was 12 people on the invite list. And the bitch that bring the least food is always the one making the most to-go plates.
So we're gonna come back to that because this is me and my time right now.
I'm sorry, that was just a sidebar. You was on the third interview. You provided a writing sample. Mayonnaise, barbecue sauce was on your titties. Okay, there we go.
So he said that he wanted to stay in the room while he gave me this question to answer. And I must admit, bitch, I look back on what I wrote, bitch, I slayed this topic.
So wait a minute. So the writing sample wasn't submitted. It was done live
It
time?
was done live time. And then I
That's
had to
new.
email it to him right then and there. So what he said to me was, email this to me. You have until 11 o'clock to do this. And we stopped the interview.
Another sidebar. This is Thanksgiving. And someone else asked this, Dylan asked me, he was like, is it okay if I bring some Disaronno? I was like, Disaronno? Who the fuck drinks Disaronno? But that's fine.
It's all right.
And I was like, this
It's
is I said, this is an ice. Thanksgiving is an iced tea kind of, no. Thanksgiving dinner is an iced tea kind of meal.
Thanksgiving dinner. Okay. All right. Okay.
Not the day, but while we're sitting at the table, it's, you know, it's a wine. I'm bougie, and we know this.
Hold your bougie horse for something. Let me finish.
I'm sorry. I was just responding to the people comments.
Okay, all right. Hold on.
All right. So you wrote the writing sample.
So
it was a bomb ass writing sample. You slayed it, and you emailed it.
So I emailed it to him. But here's where the problem went.
Mm-hmm.
He emailed me at 10. He messaged me at 10:59 saying, "Hey, are you ready to submit your information?" So I'm trying to respond back to him. He closed the chat, so I couldn't chat to him, and I was like, so I was freaking out, like, what the hell? So I was like, okay. So by the time I closed my message from him to then find his number in the phone, to then call him back, and while I have him on the phone and waiting for the phone to ring, I'm saving my paper to send it to him. It was 11:08 when I got it to him because I was trying to figure 8 minutes after 11
in the morning,
and because he said it was due at 11. So I was like, okay, no problem. I got him on the phone. He said, yeah. I said, hey, I was trying to respond to you, but I couldn't get into the thing. He said, I disabled the chat accidentally or whatever. He said, but you know, no worries. He's like, I got your writing sample at 11:08. He said, I'm so interested in just seeing what your response is. And okay, we're good. So I was kind of pissed off because I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, he's gonna think I'm late. And I missed this, but I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, he's like, well, no. And I was like, okay. But then he turns around and says to me, please let your references know I'm going to be checking the references this week. And, you know, if we try to get it done last week, but we're going to try to get it done this week and also next week. So just let them know I'll be calling. I was like, okay, no problem. So I got off the phone pissed off and I was like, okay. I'm like, all right, whatever. However, today I got a phone call from my boss. He called her. Mm-hmm. And my boss was the person that gave me guff about her cell phone number versus her regular number. It's another conversation. But she said she talked to him. So I was like, okay, great. I spoke to somebody else that I put down as a reference. They said that he called, but they weren't able to talk to him because they had another call and they never called him. She never called him back, or he never called her back. So I was like, okay, fine. So again, he's checking the references. So I don't know what this means. I don't know where we are. I mean, I think most people say the indicators are good. Until I have something in writing in front of me and a piece of paper,
bitch, unless you have a written offer,
something. I don't know how this is going to turn out. So that's where I'm at right now. So that's that. But other than that, the week was pretty good. I on a personal note, I chatted with one of my cousins, and I think you all have been very privy to some information with me and my family. Right now, I'm just not in a good space with my family. I ain't really talking to them. One of my cousins reached out to me and just kind of say, hey, and so we have this whole little character thing where we're like an old married couple, and so you know, I'm Harvey, she's Viola, and so we have this whole thing of like Harvey, and I'm like Viola. But anyway, So she called me. We were talking about stuff, and so I laughed because she said, I'm sitting here on Thanksgiving. She said, all the kids are gone. I'm here by myself. She said, but I'm making dinner. She said, I got my glass of bourbon and I'm just sitting there. She said, I just thought about you and I wanted to call you. So we were laughing, joking for a few minutes. She said, my pies are in the oven. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I said, okay, no problem. We laughed for about 15, 20 minutes. And then 10 minutes after we got the phone call, she sent me a picture. She said, Harvey, I burned my damn pies. And when I tell you, she sent me this picture of these pies.
They were burnt.
Who they were not
a little crispy.
They weren't crispy. They were not even brown anymore. It was a balayage from black to brown. That's what it more so like. So it was like
what the fuck is a balayage?
You ever see women with it's a hairstyle balayage where it goes from like dark to light?
I thought it was called ombre.
Ombre is where it goes from light to dark, I think it is, but I think this one goes from dark to light. But basically, it's two different. It's more than one shade. Mm-hmm. And I was like,
it was not edible.
I was like, now I think so. To be clear, The flavoring is amazing because she makes good. She makes good
just
pies.
put some ice cream on top of it; it'll be good to go.
But this black edge around the side of it,
just
I was
cut
like,
that off. You don't want to even notice.
But that's up by where the edge of the pie is, like, you know, that's because they have the edge of the So I don't know what she's
take a slice of the pie, put a scoop of ice cream, and cover all of that burnt shit with some whipped cream, and there you go.
So I'll figure out. I don't know what she's gonna do, but we'll figure that out. But I was happy to laugh and joke with her, and that was a really good feeling for me. And while I am annoyed with my family and I'm sorry, with some of the members of my family, some of the collateral damage, which has been my cousin and I and our relationship, my cousins and I and our relationship, I was happy to have that moment with her. So I was very happy about that.
Good.
So that was a good thing. So that was it. Other than that, it's been a pretty good week. How's your week been?
Well, we got to catch up from last week. So
yes.
First, let me talk about. So at work, you know, okay. I work for
redacted
I work for Bamtrak.
Redacted Railways. How about
that? I work for Redacted Railways. And so in this meeting,
which this is good.
We're in this meeting, right? And my boss is pretty cool. We laugh and joke all the time. But I'm not stupid, you know, it's laughing and joking because the job is getting done. If it wasn't, I'm sure I'd see another side, but that's how it is with anybody. And we're in this meeting, and so the funny part is, like, she and I do like what you and I would do, or what me and Papa would do, is while the meeting is going on, we are chatting in the background. And so I was like, who is this with this bird? And she's like, that's Josh and his fucking emotional support parakeet. And I was like, what the fuck is an emotional support parakeet? She was like, she was like, I don't know what else to say. Josh has an emotional support parakeet. And, you know, when Josh gets worked up, the more Josh gets worked up, the louder the parakeet gets. He was like, it's in this meeting one time where Josh had fucked up something. And, you know, as Josh was getting more and more upset, the parakeet was getting more and more upset and louder.
Bougie girl!
So that was what we needed to talk about. That was the next thing to talk about.
Listen, everybody, stop the motherfucking presses. Let's first of all congratulate
Hold your horses. Yes.
Let's congratulate motherfucking Bougie Girl on her nuptials 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Listen, Bougie Girl, listen, we need a drum roll. We need fans. We need musical accompaniment. We need the whole introduction to Coming to America for this. Because when Bougie Girl came down the aisle and she was looking like this,
first of all,
very quiet.
We gotta. Okay, all right, it was the whole scene.
Yeah, it was
this place called the Center Club.
I think that's what it's called, but it's somewhere in downtown Baltimore. It had a beautiful view.
We watched a sunset, and everything. So we're sitting there chit chatting. You know, you don't know most of the people, but we both went to the same high school. I was like, oh hey, you look vaguely familiar. It was like, let me de-age you 35 years, and like, okay, yes.
And you and Guy were sitting there like, you were like, who is that again? He was like, that's such and such. He's like, oh, okay. And I'm sitting there looking at him, and I was like, he don't know who the hell that is.
There's a couple of times I was just, because it was just easier to just be like, because Guy. So there's a couple of things. There was 3,000 people in our school.
Yeah.
625 in my graduating class.
Okay.
On top of that, our school was divided roughly into people who were in the science and tech, which was like a magnet school, which meant that you could have come from anywhere in the southern half of Prince George's County.
Okay.
And then there were people who had been who this was their neighborhood school, and they would have always, I shouldn't have gone to Oxon Hill High School. So like Guy lived in that neighborhood. So he was always going to go to that school. So when we started as freshmen, Guy knew everybody because they had all been going to school since kindergarten.
Yeah. Okay.
They were all new to me because all the people I went to kindergarten with were at another school. Right. And that's what Tyra was, a techie too.
Okay.
So like there were a lot of people there that were like, yeah, we went to school. We were in the same class. We were in the same graduating class, but we didn't have none of the same classes together. And like he was saying, this is so and so, and I'm like, who?
Hey, Abby.
And then
Hey,
he said, so like he introduced one person, and I was like, okay, I can see how you could get from 18 to here. Okay, got it. Because I mean, I don't know how. Well, you went to school with 35 people, so it's different. But 27 people. But I could be working side by side with somebody, and they might not know. But see, the difference is that I was a senior class officer. So lots of people know who I am, and I had no idea.
Bitch, everybody knew who I was, bitch. What the fuck?
Well, bitch, it was only 26 other hoes.
Yeah, it was 27, but bitch, they all knew who I was, bitch. And they still know who I am, bitch. Bitch, I am everything I am.
Exactly. It is that. And you are magnificent. But this is about Tyra, not you. So
yes, I will defer.
So we're getting there. We're having a lovely conversation. It was slightly shenanigan-y, and Tyra wouldn't have known any of this. But so we're sitting.
Oh yes,
we're sitting in the audience, and without thinking, I just sat on the groom's side, which doesn't matter because I know her husband not nearly as well as I know her. But like most people knew Tyra, so that's
okay. So can we get to the interesting part about the dress? Can we get to the dress?
But we're not even getting to the dress yet.
Okay.
So in front of us, there was this woman, and I don't know if she was nervous, or if she was trying to hit on the dude that was sitting next to her. But it was this constant stream of yakety, yak.
And we are literally sitting behind them. We're like,
what the fuck is going on here?
And we're just watching it. She's just.
But I think she was trying to low-key hit on him because when the wife came and sat down,
was that the wife though?
I think that was the wife.
Then that's a whole nother set of issues.
She sort of.
Yeah, that's a whole nother set of issues.
Her attention got refocused to the person sitting on the other side. So I don't know what was going on. And then so the ceremony started. So the doors open.
It was almost like Crazy Rich Asians, almost like
it was very that.
When the doors open.
If the doors had opened and like water had started coming down the aisle,
I
would have been like,
that's all that she needed. Because listen, Tyra walked down in this dress, and I was like, "Oh my God, it was amazing."
The skin was glowing.
Picture. I'm gonna use this movie only because of the visual reference, but picture Bram Stoker's Dracula, if you've ever seen it. When Mina was when she was dead, she had this white veil over top her with this crown, but you couldn't see through it was like a veil that went all the way to the ground, and her dress was kind of like A-line, and it just looked very, very like regal and conservative and kind of like very kind of like that's what she gave from the front. And Tyra, listen, face was beat, she was marching to coming down the aisle.
So there was a little crystal around the neck.
Just a little hint. Just a little hint. It was like crystal. It was just a little.
It was like, okay, this because walking
very
towards
conservative.
You, the dress of this is a gorgeous.
Yeah,
dress.
She was beautiful.
It was
beautiful.
And she walking towards you. And then she walked past you.
And wait,
the whole back.
We're sitting just like this. And she walks past the minion. And I was like, bitch, look at the dress. Look at all this crystal the crystal in the back.
The whole back. So stand up.
The crystal in the back. It was like the whole.
So the back
all
was
of
out.
this.
The back was out. All of the tattoos were beautiful. All of this
crystal.
All of this
covered in
crystal.
Crystals, all of it.
It was just bling.
The light was hitting it, the bling and everything.
And the train
was going on forever. We were all
right. It was like Princess Diana.
And we were all sitting
like Diana. We were fagging out. We were just like. It was like, turn it. Turn it.
It was amazing.
I wanted to be like, 10. It
was amazing. It was absolutely amazing.
It was
amazing.
She looked
amazing.
Beyond amazing.
And let's stop for a second because I need to also recognize the groom. Mr. Bougie Girl had on this badass green crushed velvet blazer. It was bad than a motherfucker. And I'm sitting there saying like, okay, well, if I can take this in a couple of spaces. But it was bad than a motherfucker. And listen, They looked amazing together up there,
Yes.
and I was happy for them. And this dress was still.
The dress was everything. It was it did what needed to be done. Yes, the dress she gave. It was listen. It was giving what it was supposed to have gave,
and it gave all of that and more.
So yes.
But it was
the bridesmaids were
good.
Lovely. I'm going to give the I can't give a perfect 5. I'm going to give a because they were lovely, but I'm going to give a 4.5 because them was some of the blackest non-beat stepping down the aisle.
They were so off. They were like coming down the aisle like
what one but it was
but they look good.
They look good. So that was what really
Good.
mattered. That's what really, and the hair was good, and the makeup was good.
They got the 4.5 because one of the bridesmaids, one of them, I don't know if y'all noticed about me, but I love a woman's shoe, a heel, and if it ties around your ankle, I don't know if it's the BDSM in me, but it's something about a woman's shoe, a nice leg, and it ties around your ankle. It gives you like kind of little bondage tees around the ankle. There was one bridesmaid that had on that green pointy shoe.
Yes.
That motherfucking heel. I was sitting there like, ooh, did that come in a 13? Or 14? It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing.
And so, Tyra, I will say this to you. Your family is gorgeous.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen.
And I said, who was that walked Tyra down the aisle? And
so in my mind,
and Guy says that's her brother and he's married. I was like, oh
yeah, because in my mind I was already fighting Dominion because I was like, bitch, we already married. We got 2.5 kids, honey. And listen, he drives a Porsche SUV. He drives the Carrera. And so I mean, listen, it's all right. We already Tyra. We already related. Like you, my sister-in-law. That's what we doing. So I mean, it just is what it is. So I mean,
yeah. So for what it's worth, the two of the gays, think that your brother is gorgeous, but we'll leave that alone.
Yeah,
listen, I ain't trying to fight the girls.
I'm not
in the club.
And let me be clear, I would never.
And
but he cute though.
Lots of the groomsmen were, quite attractive. So, I was like, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing?
A couple of the
groomsmen. How are you doing?
And a couple of the guests, because I was sitting there like.
There were a couple of the guests too.
I was like, oh.
And there were a couple of the guests. I was like, we went to school. Of course you would say that about your brother. The same thing that I would say about my sister.
But he did his job and he looked good doing it. And listen.
And was that his children? Because both the flower girl and the ring bearer were the cutie.
Oh my God! And his little haircut, it was so
that
cute.
Haircut. I wish
it was so cute.
I hate bitches with full heads of hair. I mean, I'm trying not to hate on a child, but his full head of hair, it was so cute.
It was really cute.
And oh God, I mean, it was really just gorgeous.
It was really cute.
And our friend Guy, my classmate, was the officiant. And he got the girls together with their
Yes, he did, because they cell phones. Oh my goodness, he got the girls
because as soon as he said it right, that's your cue to be like, oh girl, well let me.
Sugar. Oh, that's the niece.
That's the niece. Okay. It was like, okay, girl, you turn your fucking phone off.
Oh, it's your godson. Okay, he's adorable.
He was. He had it together.
That was his mom and dad that were sitting in front of us.
Yes, that was them. So don't mention none of this to them about what happened, because that whole story with the talkie yakky.
Yeah, I don't know how that's going to go.
I don't know how that's going to go, yeah. But the person that mom and uncle. Okay, got it. But still, this is just between us,
right? Just between us squirrel friends.
So the venue was beautiful. Festive.
The food was amazing.
The food was very good.
The food was amazing.
The reception was good.
The cake was. Listen.
That cake. So listen, I have been to. I don't go for. Here's the thing. I don't like to go to a lot of weddings, and used to be I didn't go to a lot of straight weddings because we couldn't get married. And then once we could get married, I realized I just don't care much for.
So let's be clear, bitch, and I'm saying this on national television, bitch. When I get married, bitch, you're in the wedding. So don't give me that bullshit of you're not gonna show up at the fucking wedding.
Well, of course,
bitch.
Well, of course.
I don't have to hunt you down, bitch. Because
Wait a minute. She says, I'm surprised y'all don't know Uncle. Oh, wait a
So
minute.
we
There's a story.
There's a
There's a story. So put a pin in that.
Yeah, put a pin in that.
Put a pin in that.
Put a pin in that.
So the food was great.
Yeah.
The DJ was good.
Yes.
They also had one of those 360 photo booths,
which was really cute. We didn't get to that, but the 360 photo booth was cute. We didn't get to that.
So
and then they called, as I expected, they called all of the sorors out of Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority incorporated onto the floor, and Miss Tyra came on out, and she was leading the motherfucking. Listen,
wait a minute, but we forgot.
I was here for that, though.
We forgot that Miss Tyra did a costume change.
Oh yes! Oh my God, she did. She came back with this from the slang diamond encrusted bling bling outfit to this soft pink strapless number.
Mm-hmm.
And then she walked. It was so funny because I was here for. She was walking like, oh, this little thing, this little.
I just pulled this out of my closet. You know,
just a little something. I put her. She came in and she
I had my friend Christian design this. You know him, Christian Siriano.
We
need to talk because I need to make sure we're talking about the same person.
Yes, we are, because remember, listen, let me be clear. I may not remember a lot of shit, but there's something about a face that I do not fucking forget. And if
he looked real familiar.
And I was sitting there saying, he looks so familiar. And I cannot figure it out. And so we'll talk about that, and we'll talk about it off air somewhere.
So, we're sitting there and we're like, where is the cake? I never saw the cake. Then they start distributing pieces of cake. And then I was like, so, because we were sitting in,
yes, Tyra. Oh my God, I love Tyra.
Yes. So we're sitting in the back. This is the cut up table with me and Guy's husband and Epic. And our friend Adrian from high school, and a couple of other people that we all went to high school together. At least ones that were sitting on our side, plus the two dudes. I didn't know either of their wives, but those two dudes went to school with us.
Okay.
The one with the
and
lips.
they seemed cool enough. Yeah,
everyone was cool. Everybody at the table was cool.
Yeah.
So finally, we get the cake, and I'm sitting there like. I have low expectations, not because it's Tyra, but generally, wedding cakes are hit and miss. And so I took the piece and I'm like,
moist and
God damn, this is the best cake I ever had in my life. That cake was fucking delicious.
Moist. And I'm not even a fan of fondant icing.
Yeah, I don't ever eat
but
fondant.
It was moist and
it was so good that because it's Baltimore. So all of the servers were black too. So I was like, sis,
can I get it?
How can I be down with like another piece or two? She was like, I got you.
And she
came back with like 6 pieces.
She brought one right out.
We had like 15 pieces.
On that whole side. We was fucking that cake up. I was like,
baby, I had at least 3 pieces of that cake.
I even think I had a piece of rose or whatever it was. It was good.
That cake was good as shit.
It was good.
So Mufasa, if you're judging the marriage by the cake, this marriage is going to be a successful marriage because that cake was
good.
Delicious.
It was really good. But the whole evening was really good. And then
what was cute that when we arrived, I was like, girl, we got to park. She was like, no, just tell him you're here for the wedding. He was like, here for the wedding. Bitch, he picked up that little cone. He was like, going down.
We was all like, what?
Oh, okay. It was an omen of things to come.
Listen,
baby.
it was fancy. And
the little snacks. But bitch, people were hungry as shit.
Yeah, we were hungry.
Yeah, fucked up.
Now this wine was really good as well because we were fucking up the wine.
It was an open bar too, bitch.
Yeah,
and it was open. Really it was open.
It was open bar
wine. And it wasn't spirits because I feel like this felt like a brown liquor crew. No shade, but it felt like a brown liquor crew.
Tennessee
and that feels
brown.
The wine selection that they had.
But I did go up there and get a drink though. They did have at
the bar in the back.
At the bar in the back, they did.
Because that was at the pre-wedding.
No,
but at the reception, you could have got.
There was only like 1 or 2 cocktails. It was like rum and I think I had like Jack Daniels or something like that. But it was good though. I fucked the drink up. It was good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I didn't. I think we after
you gave me one.
Yeah, it was good. So it was good. But
it really did feel like we were at the country club.
Yeah,
in downtown Baltimore. It was all of that.
I don't even like weddings that much myself because I feel like every time I go to a wedding, I feel something about weddings. I feel
the energy is off.
Sometimes. Yeah, I just feel, especially if I don't like even my cousin's wedding. Like I just felt like I don't know. I just feel weird about weddings, and I don't know about that.
It's the energy is off, or is making small talk with people that you don't really know.
Yeah, maybe that's
the
part
thing.
of it.
That's the thing for me anyway, is because I don't really have a lot of straight friends, and the ones I do, we know in limited context.
Okay.
So if I go to your wedding, is generally because I know you and a bunch of other
Right.
people. So like when my best friend from college got married, like a third of the people, we all went to college together. So
Okay.
of course
So
we
you already
in the
connected,
back, cutting up. That's why I don't go to general. Like if I only know you, I generally won't go to your wedding, because then I'll just be sitting there like,
and
like even at our table, them girls start. And when they started talking about their failed sports aspirations. So I can't remember the guy's name, but we all went to school with Tyra, so you'll know who we're talking about. Like if I showed you a picture of him, you'll know who I'm talking about. But they started talking about, because they ran track. That's why Adrian and some of the others were talking about that. And the one guy who was really tall, he started talking about, what did you realize you weren't going
braces?
Yeah, they had the braces. Yeah, he had the tall one with the braces.
Yes, he had the braces. Yeah.
It was cute from a distance.
Yes.
But they started talking about when did he realize that he was not going to be the next Michael Jordan, and I was like, well, the conversation is turned, and so for like 20 minutes, like the two of them were talking about running track and doing all of this, and I'm like, okay,
it's like, well, okay, all right. Like, well,
yeah, it did that. It was definitely a joyous party atmosphere and celebration, and I felt honored to be there for you. And we got something for you. So we want to get together in December. Actually, you know what? I got an invite for you for a little, a very small function that I'm having. So, I want you to come and your husband, if he wants. Although I don't know how. I feel like you're going to be cool in a room full of gays.
Let me be clear. There's not one bitch that's going to say nothing to him that I.
No.
One.
Her husband has been around.
Okay, because I was like, I don't like that type of shit.
It feels like he's cool.
It's going to be one or two that's going to be like.
Well, no, them kind of people is going to get the upfront. I was like, listen. Yes. So anyway, so as we're getting ready to leave, right? I took a cute little picture. Thank you, Epic, for taking a cute little picture. I had on my little blue suit with my purple shirt and my purple tie and my camel color.
I do videos as well. I'm not public videos, but the private ones. Like
he is a very good camera person.
For those, anyway.
And so we took the picture, and we are getting ready to leave. And this dude stops us, and I think it's the one that Tyra is talking about.
Listen,
Tyra, does the name start with a D?
And end with a Esquire.
Yes. So as we're getting ready to leave, he was like, "Hey, we should exchange numbers because we all family." And I'm like, "Bitch, I am a heterosexual. I came here giving you heterosexual teas."
Bitch, me and Dominion were sitting here like,
"How dare you?"
Hell yes, it does.
Exactly. We were talking about the same person.
Mm-hmm. So we were all like, he's like, "Oh yeah, we're all family." We were like,
I was like, "Bitch, how dare you? I am heterosexual."
And meanwhile, in my mind, I'm like, "Bitch, I know your face from somewhere. I just got to figure out where the fuck I knew it.
It feels very familiar." And so he gave us his number. So I texted him. He never texted me back, but
I did too. But that's okay.
I was like, "Hey, I'm not pressed."
Yeah, I was like, "Hey,"
you messaged me, not the other way around.
I was like, "Hey, that's it."
Maybe I'll invite him to Cookies and Cocktails, and we'll see if he comes. But But anyway, so that was that. So altogether, Tyra, the wedding of Tyra Nicole and Tyra Nicole's husband gets a 9.95 out of 10.
Yes, I'm here with that. I'm definitely here with that. I'm 9.9. And he's single.
Well, he was the one.
So he was, but so let's be clear. He was very specific when he wanted your information. So I'm not saying this as in I'm hating or anything like that, because I'm not. But I laughed because he was like, "I need to get your number," and then he said,
"But I thought he was talking."
No, bitch. And he turned around and said to me, "And yours." I said, it was like, "Hey, I need to get your number and yours." what's your number again? And I was like, oh, bitch, wait a minute. I was like, bitch, you ain't that fine. I was like, bitch, but it's all right. You can take my number. Go ahead. That's all right. But listen, well, then that's what I gathered.
Maybe I need to follow up.
That's what I gathered because I was like, bitch, go. I was like, bitch, listen, listen. As Normani said, baby, what you want to do? Shoot your shot.
He was plotting on it. All right, well then you know what? I'll follow up and be like, hey, we met at Tyra's wedding, you know.
Hey, listen, I mean,
so cool. So congratulations again. So you'll need to give us the 5,000-foot view of your honeymoon. You know, we don't want the point by point details because y'all grown, but you know, I hope you had a good time in Hawaii. He mentioned y'all, but I know he was talking about y'all.
Oh. Okay, well, listen.
All right, well, tell him to respond to my fucking text.
Right.
But listen, let's just be clear. It's not like I text him like 5 days later. He gave me his information.
It was like that same day or that same night.
It was that same moment.
Yeah. Like
I said, hey, I gave him my government name, but he hadn't responded since that day. So it's not like
whatever.
And I'm certainly not sitting around like begging. But listen, I'm only going to take it as there was a couple of homosexuals. But it wasn't a gay function. So I sat on his face in the Hawaii. Come on. God bless it.
And there it is. The reason why Tyra Nicole has this place in our heart. There it is, right there.
Exactly, because it ain't no bullshitting.
There it is. She sat on his face. That's what we're doing.
Yes,
I'm here for it.
And then last Thursday, we skipped the show last Wednesday because we just wasn't feeling it. It wasn't
going to do.
It wasn't giving what it was supposed to have gave.
But we had a lot of stuff to talk about.
But I got to tell you about the drag queen Christmas.
Yes.
So,
you finished your week as well? I'm sorry, because we didn't talk. You were talking about this work.
Okay, it's just very busy.
Okay,
child, I got to realize I got to make time to eat because, like, several days these past couple of weeks, it'd be like 6 o'clock. I'd be like, I guess I should eat something, huh? Because, baby, this is work. Shimmy nummy work. I don't know what she says.
Mrs. Cocktails hitting me. I had nothing to eat. Come on.
So Dylan, who was celebrating a couple of wins in his life, their life. No, it's his. They. He says it's they.
I know. Okay.
So anyway, they were profiled in Washington City paper.
I think that's what it was.
And a couple other exciting things happened. So we went to dinner, and he had invited me to come to a drag queen Christmas, which is one of the things where the RuPaul girls get together and do a thing. But it's really just a drag show.
I mean, that's okay.
You know,
as long as it's
in the Warner Theater, which I had never been in, but the Warner Theater has horrible sight lines.
Really? It seems like it's narrow, but it seems like
the seats are definitely narrow, but the way the risers are, it's not enough room for you to really see over the heads of the people in front of you.
Oh wow!
So, like, as I'm sitting there in my assigned seat,
you're not seeing comments. I don't know if you should be. I don't know if you shouldn't be able to see the comments. They should be rolling up, but I don't know because that's how it comes through on YouTube. But
yeah, anyway. I'm not really sure what's going on there. We'll look into.
Turn your comments on. I think I don't know how to. I don't know. I have to look at this actual screen and show you where to look at it, but it should be on the right-hand side somewhere where you can see the comments.
Yes, that's you do need to enable that, and I'm not sure if you're not doing it at a computer, it might be different. It might be different on like a tablet or
I think you might have to if you're on your phone, you might have to slide the screen over like to go get to the comments. But anyway,
and but yeah, so I moved, so I had like an uninterrupted view. Then fucking Sideshow Bob came and sat his big head ass right in front of me. And he was with this girl, and I thought he was a homosexual because I didn't know heterosexual couples came to a drag show together. But the way that they were like noodling each other and like, you know, I was like, is this a straight couple at the fucking drag race show?
Don't be nasty to the straight couple that came to the drag show. Don't be nasty.
But the thing was, and so it's like, listen, you got big hair. That's fine. If you stay right here, then I can.
Right.
I'm good. But this hoe kept moving. So, you know, that was it. But the show itself was fine. It was hosted by Peppermint and Trinity the Tuck.
I like both of them.
Both looked amazing. It was like every time Trinity came out with an outfit, Peppermint will come out in an outfit in the same color, but their bodies, like if you just saw Trinity, you'd be like, your body is spectacular. But then when Peppermint came out, you're like, bitch, your body is fucking sickening.
So Trinity is a pageant girl. Trinity the Tuck is a pageant girl. And baby, I've seen some pictures of her that she looks absolutely fucking amazing. Now, she talks about the work that she's had done and everything else, but she looks fucking amazing. Hey, Spiller Boy. Everyone say hello to the brother. Treasure Lane, he's in there.
Hey.
But Trinity looks amazing. I've seen she has some promo shots where she's like, and I don't even go for that all white iced out look or whatever, but she looks amazing. And Peppermint for me is a work in progress because I think she has a beautiful energy and she is she always photographs well and she's very entertaining, but it's like there's something more coming from her. Like it's like she's still evolving like a butterfly. She's still coming into her own, but it's like it's amazing for her.
Yeah. So the queens were Heidi, Kylie, Ms. Cracker, Crystal Method, Denali, and Jan. So
I was all into you said Jan, honey. Jan, something about Jan just gets underneath my skin. Oh my God.
Jan,
I don't dislike her, but
Jan was generally cute. But it was I. Now she did sing at the end, like sing live. She does have a good and she sang and she sang and she sang and she sang. Woo! Jan is, you know what Jan is? Jan is that little gay boy who had a good voice. So whatever Jan's name is, let's say it's Robert. They trotted Robert out at every family function to sing.
Oh my God.
And like all of the other gays, like the other gay cousins and the uncles was like,
there
Robert,
is.
please stop.
She's singing again.
She's singing again. This bitch is just singing.
Like, okay.
And it's not like she sings bad.
She's not.
But it's just like,
it's a lot.
It's that little kid that always has to be in the spotlight. And it's just like an energy that's like,
it's like little magic. Like, dance, little magic, dance. You're
exactly. Like, and it's not as a bad dancer or a bad singer, but it's just like, girl, all right, we got it. We got it.
It's a lot.
But anyway, so Heidi didn't give what it was supposed to have gave. So we'll leave it at that. Kylie looked good.
Kylie is the actual winner of
last season of All Stars. Yes.
And I still don't necessarily know if I agree with it, but I'm not upset about it.
Yes.
But it's okay because any of the four of them I felt would have been represented that title pretty well.
And I mean, she did fine. Here's my thing. This is just a normal drag show at,
now she performs. Let me be clear. Like I've seen her.
She really, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't.
Because when she came to the Eagle,
it felt a little low energy for me.
Baby, she was doing backhand springs and flips and everything. She was performing at the Eagle when I saw her. But that's it.
Ms. Cracker did this Alvin and the Chipmunks thing, Christmas time, and it was mildly entertaining. Crystal Method, she surprisingly turned.
Did she?
Turned.
She's a clown, said, but
she had really good choreography, and it was very high comedy.
Okay,
but it was still like very entertaining. But the star of the fucking show, surprisingly, was motherfucking Denali. Denali does the ice skating. Well, you're on the fucking stage, so she couldn't ice skate. But this bitch roller skated and did flips like it was like on Blade. It was really Surya Bonali. It really was very that. It was very that. There was like a fog machine and everything. Baby, she was doing flips and stunts, and the costumes had glitter. It was giving Nutcracker on Ice realness. It was everything. There was a glitter costume. She had skates on. She had a high pony.
Well, I'm in with a high pony.
It was everything. So it was good.
I'm in with so you say high pony and then you say heels, like a thigh high boot. I'm in. Like any woman I ever dated, if they ever wore a high pony and thigh high boots wherever they went, I probably would still be messing with her. That's a lie, but it was still something to.
Okay, girl, tell yourself that then.
I mean, it's a lie, but I'm just saying.
Right.
But
so let's get into this show.
Okay. So we're gonna skim over a lot because we've been talking about a whole lot, and
but there was a lot to go over.
But it was a lot to go over. So in the news, Jay-Z wins a cologne lawsuit. First of all, did you even know he had a cologne lawsuit going on? Because I didn't know he had a cologne lawsuit. But the juror finds that he is not responsible for the $68 million in damages suffered by the firm that sued him for failing to promote his signature fragrance. In New York City, he was sued for a breach of contract lawsuit by a perfume company, Parlux, I think it's called.
Mm-hmm.
And they claim that he failed to promote the product. The jurors found him not liable for the charges following a 2-hour deliberation after a 3-week trial that began in October. And even though he had a $6 million countersuit filed against them, the jury rejected that claim as well. So he walked out not have to pay anything, and he didn't get anything. So it's a wash. So let's just start with that. So he's good.
Yeah, and this wasn't have been from. I'm not going to wear a scent because Jay-Z has it. I'm going to wear
because I like the scent.
We having a conversation about candles? Yes. And the Real Housewives had their candles and stuff.
Do I like the scent?
Yeah. Do I like the scent? So I don't give a shit if it's
if I don't like the scent,
Bath and Body Works. If I like the scent, I'm going to buy it. I'm not going to buy somebody cologne because it's Jay-Z's name.
If I like the scent, I like it.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I wear Brute by Fabergé.
Or how about Canoe? C, come on over. A, anytime.
I don't remember that one.
Now, O, okay. E, etc. That was
it kind of remembers. I kind of remember.
I love that commercial. But anyway,
Anjali, I can bring on the bacon.
With Anjali,
fried up in the pan.
With Anjali,
and still never let you forget you're a man. 'Cause I'm a woman. Anjali. Okay, there we go. All right.
So, some interesting news, sad and interesting news. There's this fake landlord scam that's in Detroit that's going on. Now, listen, this is it's a long story. I'm going to try to shorten it as much as I possibly can. But basically, the
way I've been beating some bitches' ass.
This woman, June Walker, bought her first house in 2019, and it was for $15,000. She wound up paying on this house, and then 2 months after she sent in the last payment, an eviction letter came. The eviction letter came from...
But let's just be clear. It's not that she just bought this house.
No,
this house had nothing. It had no water heater, no furnace, and no plumbing under the kitchen sink, and the basement was filled with sewage. So she in addition to paying off the mortgage, she rehabbed and turned this whole house into something.
Yes, she did. And here's the thing. When she got the eviction notice, she got the eviction notice from the people that were the current owners. And the owners of this house apparently was a company that the lawyer found out was owned by a company in Pennsylvania called RHMS Group. And they bought the house in 2017. And then RHMS owns nearly 70 properties around Detroit, sold the house in June to a Florida company called Bocafe for $25,000. And then 3 weeks later, Bocafe filed eviction papers against her. So this woman had been living in this house for several years, making payments and everything through the person that she met and she was renting the house from, a gentleman by the name of Maurice. Now, Maurice was supposedly acting as the property manager or the realtor, if you will. And so Maurice told her the owner of the house was a man named Derek, gave her a copy of the property deed, and the document, even though it was oddly cut off and had the property owner's name redacted, she assumed that it was redacted for privacy reasons. She assumed that everything was okay. She really, at her age and on her fixed income, was really interested in just having a safe and secure place and someplace that she would own, because she had said she had never owned a property before. The house was on sale for $15,000, and she just thought that she caught a deal. And in Detroit, there's a lot of abandoned houses and things that are going on. So she really thought she got herself a deal. Well, she said that after she did all this cleaning up and doing all these things, and she even went without electricity, had to drink bottled water, all this other stuff. When she sent in the last payment, I'm sorry, she also had to fight the electric company because the electric company said that that there was still a bill from on that property in someone else's name that she had to, in order for her to get it changed over into her name, she had to pay first. So she did all this stuff. Now, when she called the guy Maurice who had collected the rent when she sent her last rent payment, and he had been collecting the rent all this time. When she called him about getting a copy of the deed, she noticed that his number wasn't working. She was like, "What? I'm sorry. Let me take that back. I went a little bit ahead of myself." She reached out to Derek about putting the deed in her name, which is the property owner. Then she tried to reach out to Maurice after Derek had set up an appointment with her and didn't show up. So when she reached out to Maurice, the person she had been dealing with, his number was disconnected as well. So that's when she got worried. Well, we're going to fast forward through the rest of this stuff, but basically, at this particular point, the owner, who goes by the name of Martin Suzmansky, he's the president of RHMS, said he believed the house was vacant from 2018 until he sold it in June. Now, he lives in California. He said he spent $15,000 renovating the property in 2018, but declined to produce records of the work. When told of the conditions, Walker says she found the house in 2019. Szumanski said he had been scammed by a contractor who billed him for renovation work that was never completed. The contractor denied this, saying he and Szumanski had disagreed about construction costs. Szumanski said he travels to Detroit several times a year and keeps tabs on the house, though he's not certain whether he visited Walker's house.
This feels like
this is very stunt queenie.
So,
but wait a minute. So here's the thing: the judge said she believed she was the home when she told the judge she believed she was the home's owner, June Walker. The judge told her to talk with her attorney and postpone a decision on the eviction. Phillips, who is a part of Walker's legal team, said that unless Walker can provide a connection between the man she was paying and the property's former owner, she's likely not to be able to claim ownership. Her best option might be to work out a deal to buy or rent the house from the current owner. Now, listen, I feel bad for this young lady because she has spent her good fixed income, $15,000, blood, sweat, and tears, and also waded through pools of shit in the basement to make this her home. And now she's going to have to purchase this house or buy this house or even rent this house again from somebody. I feel bad for her, but this landlord-tenant scheme is running rampant in Detroit. There are several other people that have had stuff like this happen to her.
Right, but let's talk about some red flags here.
Well,
red flags. Perhaps she knew the names of these people, but I noticed that whenever the last name of someone is provided, they don't mention Derek or Maurice's last name.
Not at all.
Don't fuck with nobody that won't give you their last name.
Nope.
At all.
I agree.
My question is also, when you was making out...
Oh, Gina Tay. My grandmother used to wear Gina Tay. Oh, my God.
When I'm betting she was making those rent checks out to Derek. I'm betting it wasn't to a company.
Maybe.
All of that. Also... anything that seems too good to be true
probably isn't.
Almost always is too good to be true. Now, properties do get sold in Detroit for $15,000.
Yes,
but
here's another thing too.
You still got to go to a table. You still got to have shit notarized.
Absolutely,
all kinds of things.
Here's the other thing too. If you're trying to figure out a relationship, listen. I'm going to make the assumption this young lady was paying not by check, by Cash App, but maybe by at least a money order. If you can trace one of those motherfucking money orders as far as where they were deposited and who they went to, you found him.
Yeah.
Let's just start with that. Yeah. And which is why most people who don't have a bank account will use a money order because it's a way to trace people.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Are there ways to sort of circumvent and save some costs on buying a house? Yes. But there are just some things. And like when you give me a contract and some shit, shit is cut off. I mean, it's a contract. There is no expectation of privacy on a fucking contract. The whole point of a contract is to clearly spell out who all of the parties are. So when the under owner, it don't give a full name and address and phone number.
We out.
I mean, title search, yes, but even if you're just signing a rental agreement, if all of that shit isn't on there, now I say that. Now, the very first place that rental contract that I told you I lived on at 2313 Lois Lane in Tallahassee, Florida.
Come on, Lois Lane.
Our entire lease for the time that we lived there consisted of the landlord's name, our 3 names, how much the rent was, and all 3 of our signatures on a sheet of yellow notebook paper.
Listen.
But it was a college town. It ended up working out. And let's just be clear. I would have found that bit if because we signed that lease before we left at the end of our freshman year and came back like 2 months later. If that shit had gone south, bitch, I'd have found him and whooped his ass to get my money back.
Let me explain something to you, bitch. There's not one bitch on this planet that I can't find. Mm-hmm. Bitch, oh no, bitch, I'm gonna find you. Bitch, I would still be looking for you. I will find you about my motherfucking money. Right. Bitch. I will find you.
So don't do that. I really feel bad for this woman. But, for other people, there are just certain processes that you can't circumvent. And in the case of a thing like a house, it's worth it to have a lawyer that will, because, no one's expecting you to know all of the legal ins and outs.
Right.
And don't pay your cousin TT who went to law classes but didn't finish law school. And it's Detroit, so there are a ton of legal aid and all sorts of free shit. But you need a lawyer who is going to review these documents. And now that you know that this rent scam is going, even if you're renting a place, before you do it, take that rental contract down to the legal aid spot if you can't afford a lawyer. And I'm not shading you if you can't, but take that rental contract. That very well may be true. Tyra, Bougie girl says she was probably so excited she forgot to double check the things, and I don't even think Malcolm and Derek are these people's real. Of course not.
Probably not.
Of course not. That shit is all made up. And like you said, if the shit is
if there was a money order,
order. But let me tell you, speaking from experience, all you need to do to open a bank account, you can tell the IRS this is the name of my business, and you don't have to prove anything. They will give you at least you could used to. You get an ITN number.
Since 9/11, baby, you need to show everything if you're opening up a bank account. Everything. You need to show a driver's license. You need to.
Well, yes, but I'm saying to open a business account.
Oh, okay.
So TT and Dwayne could have said, "This is TT and Dwayne Properties." Tell the IRS you do that. They'll give you an EIN.
But you should have an EIN number, and the EIN number.
But I'm saying to open a bank account, all you need is an EIN in the name of whatever business. So if you can produce a piece of paper that says TT and Dwayne's Properties, yes, you got to produce your name, but your name isn't. They aren't physically writing checks out to you. So they could have done that for the purposes of this scam, had people sending them these money orders and then skip town. Listen, if they're going to go through all of this and getting a fake ID,
it's probably not
ain't that difficult.
It's probably not that difficult.
I mean, it take a second to get a fake ID because
it really don't take that long.
It don't take that long. I wouldn't know. I don't do that sort of thing.
It doesn't take that long.
But anyway, so I feel bad for her. If you are watching, even if you don't live in Detroit, if you're renting, your home is your place of peace. Mm-hmm. Whether you're renting or buying, there are just certain hoops that you cannot skip over. Don't ever pay your rent or your mortgage in cash.
No.
Always have a traceable record
of
who you give the shit to, so that in this case, or sometimes, like a large property management firm, they'll be like, you didn't pay the rent this month. And you're like,
fuck if I didn't.
Well, bitch, according to my cash check, I sure as hell did. Because if you pay with cash, you really have no backup for that. So always keep a paper trail.
Especially if you don't get a receipt.
Right. So anyway, let's talk about our favorite little stunt queen.
Child, Lil Nas X.
And everybody was all like, is he really on Maury? It's like, no, girl. I was like, girl, what did you
Maury Povich. He was on Maury Povich.
He was on Maury, but it was like a stunt. It wasn't like him actually.
He 20-year-old rapper, industry baby artist, will be making an exclusive appearance, or he made an exclusive appearance on Maury Povich's infamous daytime talk show to confront Yai, who seemed to be married.
Apparently, though, Yai is his ex-boyfriend. That's what I read somewhere.
Okay.
And that could have been like a thing too.
He was married to an unknown woman he is co-parenting a mystery child named Noah with. Now, listen, again, we already know he's the king of marketing shit. And so we already know he is the bar for stunt queens from 2021 going forward. Because he has pulled some stunts. And I'm here for it.
But I will say,
on the social media side.
Is he pulled a stunt, but he's not a stunt queen.
No, not a
stunt
stunt
queens think that they're actually getting away with some shit.
He knows he knows
that this is just
like, bitch, this is just for gags. So we'll call him. I was going to say Gagatha, but that's me. That's yours. It's cute. So let's call him.
He's the queen of the gags.
Okay, he's queen of the gags.
Or he's the troll queen.
Troll queen.
He trolls the kids.
He trolls the shit out of them. So, and people watched it and they said it was funny and it was entertaining or whatever, but I didn't see the end of it and know how it actually ended up and what's going to go on.
I really had zero interest in it. So
it was like, I have to see what the end of this is going to be like, if he's going to make another future appearance. But again, they did the whole stereotypical run off stage and go to the back and cry. Oh! Mm-hmm. So again, listen, shout out to Lil Nas X for at least keeping his name relevant.
Yes. So, a judge recently terminated Britney Spears' conservatorship, giving her control over her life. So nearly 14 years after losing power over her personal affairs and multi-million-dollar fortune, Britney Spears is getting her life back. On last Friday, LA County Superior Judge Brenda Penny terminated Spears' conservatorship, freeing the 39-year-old pop star from the legal binds that allowed her and her dad's blah, blah, blah since 2008. The ruling marked the end of a period that she has described as demoralizing and traumatizing. And while the hashtag Free Britney fan movement and increased scrutiny from news outlets certainly hastened what we now know was a year-long fight to regain control, it was Spears' own voice that brought matters to a head 4.5 months ago when she told the court and the world that her conservatorship was abusive and she wanted out. Yeah, because, they would pill this girl up and make her trot out and dance for no reason. Because, she already had plenty of money. If this was really about her health, they could have just used the money that she had, which was
plenty,
tens of millions of dollars. It wasn't like Britney when they took control of her estate in 2008, it wasn't like she had like $1 million. Britney could have never worked again from 2008 and died in her 80s and still had several $1 million left over. So there was no need for her to have been made to take pills and go out to work. This was only so that other people could make money off of her, because there was no need for her to go out and do this. So, so good for her. And it also points out how conservatorships can be abused. Britney Spears has millions of dollars. Think about your Aunt Brenda, not your Aunt Brenda, but your Aunt Brenda, who doesn't have anything but a little pension. But the little pension is enough to pay for the house because Uncle Ed, I'm making up names, Uncle Ed, her husband, and this is like this happened in my family. What was Aunt Florence had a pension that she got because her husband, Uncle Ed, was a Vietnam vet. So that was enough to pay all of her expenses or whatever. This wasn't a conservatorship. This was just power of attorney. But same thing, then now people have moved into your house, then taking control of your finances. And now you don't have no control over your life, and you don't have dementia or anything. You just have other people managing your stuff. This is happening a lot, because again, you saw what happened with someone who is a multimillionaire. Think about people that's got, if someone is in their 70s, it's a good chance that they're collecting Social Security. And if they work for like the post office or something, they got like a cute little pension coming in. So they might have $7,000-8,000 in cash. This is after tax money coming in every month. That's a cute little something, because they may not have a ton of expenses or whatever.
Yep.
So someone comes in and be like, hey, Aunt Brenda, I'm going to come live with you and help you out. And Aunt Brenda's like, oh, that's nice, baby. But then when Aunt Brenda needs something, she can't get no fucking pair of shoes because he's like, there ain't no money. Like, wait a minute, bitch, it's supposed to be $8,000 a month coming in.
Ciao.
Anyway, I'm not speaking from experience. I'm speaking from experience.
Comic Affion Crockett calls out a Karen heckler who stormed the stage like the Capitol video. Comedian Affion Crockett on last Saturday called out a Karen who interrupted his stage act by storming the stage like the Capitol in the middle of his routine to complain that she was offended by his act. Crockett, who's Black, shared a video of the encounter on his Instagram account. When I perform, he says, when I perform, I said what I said. If you don't like it, don't come, he wrote. Cancel these nuts. That's what he also wrote. Crockett soon won support from a slew of stars, including Holly Robinson Pete, Yvette Nicole Brown. Crockett was also taken aback by the woman's behavior. Now, here's how it went down in the video. And I quote, ma'am, it's a goddamn video show. It's what the F it is, he said at the beginning of the video. What's the problem? What's the problem? She says, what do you want to know? What do you want to know? I'm sorry. He said, what do you want to know? What do you want to know? He continued after the audience began to jeer the woman. She says, I'm a woman. He said, yes, we know you're a woman. We can tell. She said, and I'm married to a man, but you're insulting a lot of people tonight. He said, how? How am I insulting people by talking about sexual matters between adults? I'm talking about consenting adults here. I have sex with women. So me being up here describing my life is insulting to you? Then the comedian checked the crowd's temperature and he said, is anybody insulted? Crockett asked the audience, prompting people to respond with a resounding no. The woman then exited the stage to chants of Karen and a phrase used to describe an entitled older white woman. Listen, there is no way in the hell you're going to come to my comedy show and step on my stage while I have a microphone. So listen, and I'm not even necessarily a loud person, but bitch, I can get loud. But then I also have a microphone. I'm going to need you not to, sir, something wrong with your glass? You got something on your,
y'all.
Okay.
We on the same
But you're not going to
page.
come to my,
You're not loud.
You're not going to come to my show and then jump on my stage with me while I have a microphone. And then you think you're going to take over my show? Sir, ma'am, madam.
The way she would have got cussed out and heckled, I'd have been like, let's start with them saggy titties.
And she was standing. I guess she was trying to make a point. And I was just like, but again.
But you're on somebody else's stage. First of all, you just don't do that.
If you don't like it, then fucking leave.
I mean, I have been, I don't know that I've ever been that insulted by anything a comic has said. But even if I was, I would just leave. The idea that the show got to stop because I'm offended.
And you have to bring it to their
attention.
Even
if I was totally offended by the show, just leave. Anyway.
Whatever.
All right. So congratulations to Brian Michael Smith, who was the first trans man in People's Sexiest Man Alive. So he's one of the stars of 911 Lone Star.
Mm-hmm.
So this year's Man of the Year is Paul Rudd. Which, Paul Rudd is I've always thought Paul Rudd was kind of sexy ever since Clueless. I'm not saying, I'm not saying he's Jake from State Farm or Tyler Lepley or even Idris Elba cute, but he's cute.
He's all right. He's not necessarily my cup of tea, but it's all right.
I like lots of flavors of tea.
I do too, but I'm not saying he's unattractive. I'm not saying
he's
unattractive.
English breakfast tea.
Congratulations, Brian Michael Smith.
Right.
Shang-Chi star
Simu
Liu.
Yes.
To help introduce Sesame Street's first Asian American puppet. Sesame Street is introducing its first Asian American puppet and is doing so with the help of Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings star Simu Liu on Monday. Sesame Workshop announced the introduction of Ji Young, a Korean-American Muppet who will make her debut on CS Coming Together, a Sesame Street special that will debut on Thanksgiving Day tomorrow. The special will air on Cartoonito on HBO Max, PBS Kids, and Sesame Street's YouTube. The special will follow the Sesame Street characters as they celebrate Neighborhood Day, including Ji Young, performed by Sesame Workshop puppeteer Kathleen Kim. The special will feature celebrity guests, including Liu, as well as To All the Boys I've Loved Before's Anna Cathcart, DC Comics Jim Lee, and more. The special is part of Sesame's Workshop coming together initiative, and will include an opportunity to talk about anti-Asian racism, with Ji Young experiencing another child telling her to go home off screen. After the incident, Ji Young seeks out friends and trusted grown-ups to help her know she's exactly where she belongs. A viewing guide and materials for adults and children to do together will be available the week of the special. Now, this is a part of the article that I'm going to read, but I have some complicated feelings about this. It says, it's a powerful thing when kids see people like themselves represented on screen and in stories. It supports them as they figure out who they are and who they want to be. Alan Maroka, longtime Sesame Street cast member and co-director of See Us Coming Together, said, "We can't wait for families to get to know Ji Young in this special and in future seasons of Sesame Street and celebrate some of the Asian and Pacific Islander people in our neighborhood." Is this statement not the same thing that we've been crying out for at least 50 to 75 or 100 years, just as Black people in general?
Yeah, so what's your point?
My point is, while I am welcoming this young Asian Muppet,
there's already Black Muppets on the
this
show.
is not, what I'm saying is, this is not the first time that I feel like people are making the importance of other races more so than some of the races that have already screamed that we're not important. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but how is this that? I mean, there's already
my point is,
there's been Black Muppets on.
I'm not disagreeing with that,
and
yes,
since
it
the 70s.
has been. But I guess that's that comment of you never get to, people never. It's a powerful thing to see when kids see people like themselves represented on screen and in stories. It support them as they figure out who they are and what they want to be. We've been saying that for years. We've been saying
right,
that
and so now they're acting on it.
Okay, well,
I mean, I see where you're going, but I kind of don't, because
I feel like I feel like it is important to highlight other people and other cultures, but I also feel like it's on the backs of one of the people that have been at the forefront of screaming this loud and proudly for so many years.
Yeah, but how does this how does this take away from?
It doesn't necessarily take away
Blacks.
from the fact that it is an Asian American character that they're introducing as a Muppet. It feels like it should have been noted that, oh, and while we are constantly trying to do this, when we've introduced this character or that character or this character from this ethnicity or that race or this culture, I feel like that's kind of what I would have liked to have read, if that makes sense.
Not really.
To you, but to me it does.
I hear what you're saying, and I respect what you're saying. I didn't take that perspective on it. And you know, I'm sure there's other people who feel that way, but I didn't see it that way. I was just like, oh, good for them. And I honestly,
I'm glad.
But you know what, though? It's funny how different things trigger us, because sometimes other people say stuff and I'm like, so I'm gonna tell you. So this is a sidebar. One of our brothers talked about how they were in a spot and someone described them as a sexy piece of chocolate. You remember that conversation from earlier this week? We were in a group chat.
I did not. Okay.
He found that flattering. I don't appreciate being referred to as food, especially by non-Black people. I think it's dehumanizing, because it's not just, no one else is described as food. Like, no one describes white people, and I don't want to say anything. I don't, what food is white? You're
mashed potatoes.
You're beautiful. You're a sexy mashed potato, or
look at this good cold tall glass of milk.
Right. I mean, do people say that occasionally? But a lot more Black people are described in terms of food, and it's about something for consumption. It just reminds me of how when Ramian won IML, and we were standing outside of the Harris Theater. It was like maybe 10 of us. You know how we do. We stand in a circle. Everyone's like all excited. And this white guy walks. I can't remember if we weren't in a circle. We sort of half circle. So Raimi had just got, because, you know, when you used to, when you win IML, bitch, they whisk you away in a limo because you got to go, because you got to get ready. You know, you're that bitch for the next year. So we had just waved him off, him and Keith off in the limo and everything. So we're standing there. Everyone was like on this high. And this white guy says, congratulations, blah, blah, blah. That's fine. He said, well, you know, I love me some chocolate. It's like, now, if I punch this bitch in his face right now, it was just like, I just don't like, that's my thing. I don't like being referred to as chocolate. So other people are like, that's fine, you know, because it deals with their self-esteem or whatever, but I just don't like it.
Okay.
So, but anyway, and so I hear what you're saying, and it's not that I don't understand what you're saying. It just didn't trigger me, or not trigger, but I didn't.
It stuck out for me.
It didn't stick out for me. It was just like, okay, cool. There's like I'm like, wow, it took this long to have an Asian American Muppet. So, and I mean, like, except for skin color, all of the Muppets look alike. So
they really do.
So unless you're like really hairy or look like Elmo, most of the Muppets kind of look alike. So anyway, so Tessica Brown, y'all remember her? Speaking of Harry, Tessica Brown says she reached out to Nicki Minaj to collab on her new single, My Hair, but got left on red. So if you all remember, Tessica Brown was the Gorilla Glue girl. She ventured into the world of music with the release of her new single, My Hair, which dropped on November the 19th. Did you listen to it?
It's actually, listen, the production on the song is amazing. Like the production on the song is amazing, and it's actually not a bad, like, it's a catchy tune. It's not bad. I'm not saying that I'm getting ready to go buy it, but it's actually not bad.
Can you hear it from the link?
Yeah, you can if you go to the link.
All right, so we're gonna open this real quick, and I'm gonna give it my first listen.
And it goes into, it's not that one. Go into the next. I think you can try it on that one, but I think it's the next one down. Or when you click on that one, it goes to another one. I think it is. No, go back to click on, keep going up. Go back to that one. Yeah. And then I think when you click on it, it comes up as another one. I went to her page. It feels so good. No, I went to her page. Click on her.
Oh.
And then I went to her. She has a post, like a snippet of it.
Oh, in her story?
Not in her story, but in one of her posts.
Which one?
See if it plays. Go ahead. I'll get to it. I'll find it.
Yeah, let me know.
Okay, I'll find it. Yeah, I'll get to it.
Well, maybe it's so terrible that it's not. Maybe you're the only one that liked it.
No, one of them didn't, because I had to go through a couple of things to get to her, but one of them didn't. But anyway, go on to the.
Anywho, so good for her, I guess. But the shade is that she reached out to Nicki Minaj for her to collab, and I was like, you're reaching awfully far.
The reason why she reached out to Nicki Minaj, because Nicki Minaj mentioned her in one of her songs.
Rappers mention a lot of bitches in their songs.
That
don't mean you should call. You should be texting them talking about we should collab.
What characters we see? If so, all three of us would be Beaver Cleaver.
That's true. I am Beaver Cleaver. How dare you? Actually, I'm Ward Cleaver with a splash of June Cleaver.
My name is Meat Cleaver.
Meat Cleaver.
Meat Cleaver.
You do it.
Meat Cleaver. Honey.
Meat Cleaver. All right. All right. So next up, Black Twitter reacts to the versus battle between Chaka Khan and Stephanie Mills. Now, I did not watch it. I watched maybe 30 seconds of it to see that Chaka was full boots.
I'm trying not to. Listen. I absolutely love
Miss Chaka Khan. However,
and I love.
I'm getting through and my hair won't move. My hair, it don't move. My hair, it don't move. My hair, it don't move. My hair. You hear what I'm telling you? It don't move. My hair, it don't move. My hair, it don't move. My hair. You hear what I'm telling you? It don't move. Made a TikTok video for instance and all.
all right, that's all we can play.
All I'm saying is I'm not going out to buy it, but the production on it, and as you hear it, it's like it just is what it is. So I just
It's no you can play with my pussy, but don't play with my emotions.
Oh no, it's not that.
It's not even don't come at me, don't come at me.
I don't know about that.
Listen, that is a fucking Grammy classic. That song that don't do nothing for me. But I feel like the girls is gonna be TikToking it to death.
But the again, listening to the sound of the production of it, it's good. The production of it. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
So, but
yeah, so Chaka.
So listen, I felt kind of bad because listen,
I felt like somebody needed to be like, we need to postpone this. Or if Chaka really, because we know Chaka has had, substance abuse problems, off and on for a minute. So like if you're an alcoholic, it feels like, being at an event sponsored by Ciroc. And even if you are at an event sponsored by Ciroc, then be like, okay, Stephanie, here's your Ciroc. Okay, Chaka, here's your pineapple juice and seltzer water.
I really sincerely believe that Stephanie had Chaka's best interest.
No, I'm not saying Stephanie's trying to set her up.
No, I didn't. Not at all.
Mm-hmm.
However, her team, including her daughter, there is no way in the hell that I would have let my mother up on that stage as high as she was. Maybe she was drunk. I don't know, but she was giving drunk. She was giving not in a state to perform.
Not at all.
I would have said something that should have happened.
So she be trying to get
I would have said something.
She be trying to get an Instagram jail.
But what? I ain't never noticed that, but that's cute. Then it hang open. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I would have never let her up on that stage.
Yeah.
And that big busty young lady that walk up on stage, that's Chaka's daughter. And I was like, baby. When I say it's a whole bookshelf up here, she is a buxom young lady. But she sang. But I don't know. But I felt so bad. And it was such a train wreck to watch. So bad.
Yeah.
And all the entire time you heard, Stephanie saying, like she would pull the mic away from me, like, I got you. Like I felt that and I saw it. So I don't know.
And that's why it's so funny is that people be thinking that these are battles, but like the ones that I've watched between the women have not been about battles. It's been about sisterhood.
Right.
And we both singing and trying to do this. You go back to the one with who was it? Jill Scott and Erykah Badu.
Jill and Erykah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it was like that wasn't a battle.
No.
People kept saying that Patty versus Gladys was a battle or going to be a battle, but that was like a fucking love fest, and they even brought Dion in, and that was beautiful. So this was too. So next to the last story.
Listen, but speaking of verses, though, there's a conversation now. Fat Joe and Remy Ma hosted on Wendy Williams show today. Remy Ma looked fucking amazing, number one.
Yeah.
But she brought up this thing of Will Smith saying he wanted to do a versus with LL Cool J. Remy was like, baby, don't do that. She was like,
don't do that to yourself, Will. Don't do that.
And Fat Joe, but this is what got me. Fat Joe was like, he said, wait a minute. He said, LL Cool J be on stage like doing it and doing it and doing it well. He said, and then Will would come out with "Welcome to Miami."
Right.
I was dying. I couldn't get myself
And
together.
even if that was that, I mean, does Will have some hits? But
they said Will against
they
Buster.
call me Big Ellie, Big Belly,
Big Willie.
Oh, Big Willie. Sorry. There we go. There's that.
But they said possibly Buster. But I'm like, even still, that's even worse because Buster would eat him up and spit him out and still alive and whole and whole. But anyway, we're off of that.
Speaking of Will, so I just wanted to get to this. So hold on. Will Smith says he developed psychosomatic reactions to orgasms after first heartbreak. I'm just like, girl. I'm so tired of these two. I'm so tired of Will and Jada. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I'm just tired. Every time they say something, it's more and more crazy. What the fuck is a psychosomatic reaction to orgasms? When he says that he was married, he was dating this chick who had she was pretty young and damaged, but he was pretty and young at the time too. They were dating. Something happened with that girl's mama or the aunt that she was living with. So they went from dating, living in separate places, to Will convincing his parents to let the girl move in. So they're dating while living together, and they broke up. His reaction was to start fucking everything that walks, which is fine. But then he said, because he was looking for love from these things, he started having this, and he has this book coming out called Will. That is such an original title. But he says he developed a psychosomatic reaction to orgasms. And I'm just like, that just sounds so bullshitty. Anyway, so that's that. All right, so congratulations to Joyanne Reed, Lettucey, and Abby Phillips, among others, who were inducted to Delta Sigma Theta sorority on day 2 of its 55th National Convention.
Congratulations. And also congratulations to Lance Gross, who also became a member of Kappa Alpha Psi. Now, the one thing that I'm going to say is Joy, Abby, and Lettucey were made honorary members of Delta Sigma Theta. Lance Gross crossed over into the Brotherhood.
So he pledged.
I'm still trying to get my feelers out to figure out what the deal is with that, because Kappa Alpha Psi does not have any honorary members. You are either a brother or you are not. Period.
Oh. Well.
So, but congratulations, Lance. I'm still looking for some information.
So we found out some bad news yesterday that Malika Shabazz, a daughter of Malcolm X, was found dead in her Brooklyn apartment on Monday. Authorities say the 56-year-old Shabazz was found just after 4 p.m. inside of her Midwood home by her daughter. The death does not appear suspicious, and Police Chief Dermot Shea said she had been ill for some time. At this point in time, working with other authorities, the medical examiner, and speaking to the family, she'd been ill for a period of time. At this point, nothing appears suspicious. So that's unfortunate. I'm really sad
unfortunate
to hear that. Now, that's not the daughter that burned the house down and killed Betty Shabazz.
I don't remember.
Because you remember that happened.
I don't remember her name, though. I do remember that happening, but I don't remember who it was.
Yeah.
So, yes, listen, Tyra, facts. That's what it is. Like, we're going to talk about it. So, but anyway, let's get into this beautiful bean footage, because I already got a little tipsy. I need to pour me another drink. So,
hallelujah.
We'll be right back.
All right, so we should be back now. Yeah, that's what it is. There's a lag on one end, and it's sort of all fucked up. But
hey, so Lola, thank you for that information. For whatever reason, I thought it was a granddaughter or something that burned down the house. I know it was a grandson, but thank you for that information.
So yeah, we hope that you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving. In whatever way that you do. I know that the holidays can be traumatizing for some, but do what you need to do in order to heal yourself.
Mm-hmm.
For me, that is meant, well, it's meant for a long time that I didn't spend Thanksgiving with my biological family, that I spend it with my chosen family. If you have to spend it with your biological family, either because you can't say no to them, or because Big Mama just make that sweet potato pie that you gotta have. Just practice the art of clenching your teeth. Here's what you do: put a little chapstick
or Vaseline
on your upper teeth, and
or Vaseline helps you slide.
Right. Now, whatever it is their parents say, or your aunt, or your crazy cousin, just be like,
listen,
what time will the pie be served?
What time are we able to go home?
Right. Also, I want us to, I hate that when people say, let's normalize whatever, but in this case, I think it's appropriate. Let's normalize saying no to people as an adult. Like, I feel like a lot of people are like, I don't want to go home. Well, then don't go.
Yeah.
I don't understand this whole, well, I got to. So you don't have to do shit. Once you move out and ain't nobody paying your bills, girl, you don't have to do anything. You are in full control of how people interact with you.
This is true.
And, tell them, like, I don't want to come because y'all keep, like, if you're gay or lesbian or bisexual or trans or something that people would consider out of the norm or whatever, and, you hate going home because you don't want to have to listen to conversations about, why you ain't got a man. It's because I'm a woman and I like women, or, they keep dead naming you. Don't fucking go. Don't go. If you are trans and your family keeps dead naming you, don't go. Listen, sweet potato pie is not worth the trauma of being constantly dead named by your family, or having your cousins call you a fag or a dyke or whatever. It's just not even worth it. So I want you to have peace. That is my wish for you this entire holiday season, and actually for your whole life, is peace.
Yeah.
And you are the person who can give yourself peace. Others cannot give you peace.
Yeah.
And you have the right and the authority to have that peace.
I tell people all the time, you are the most important variable in this equation, not X, not Y, not Z, but you.
Exactly.
So, and I need to also do that for myself at times.
Yeah, we all do.
Yeah.
Sometimes we all get caught up and be like, wait a minute, bitch, why the fuck am I doing this again?
Yeah.
I don't even like these hoes like that.
Yeah. So, but anyway, please enjoy your holiday. May it be everything that you want it to be and everything that you need it to be for you. I think that's probably
amen to that. So, and then my weekend, I got to take the Christmas cruise. Where y'all going?
Here on out. So you know what? I don't understand. I need to be. Listen, I can't. You know what?
We are all aspiring to be.
I just can't. I can't. Y'all gonna have me broken, living in a refrigerator box.
But you about to get this new job. You about to be
rich. Child about rich, honey. Y'all dolls are rich, bitch. I'm just trying to get to the H and then work my way backwards.
But I did say, I think we were in the car having that conversation. So we're going on this. We're going on the poor people's cruise next year. But it's fine. We're going to have a lovely time. But I was thinking in 2023, I want to do. No, girl, I can't. I just started this new job. I'm not quite ready to. I can't take a week off just yet.
And I have listened. The other thing is too. My current job has just been bought out. We just got our contracts and stuff. I signed all that.
So they did offer you a new contract?
They did offer me a new contract. They shortchanged me 64 cents. Bitch, you know, I didn't give you a salary. And it's like, it was like, what is this? What is this 36 cents? I was like, what the fuck?
Bitch, I want my money. Bitch better have my money.
I was like, okay, whatever.
Right.
But anyway.
But in 2024, I want to do a cruise on a new ship, like the newest Royal Caribbean ship.
The spiral on the outside one. Yeah.
So
in 2023, I got a Disney trip to go on. Yeah, I'm going to Disney. Like I just got.
Why?
Because I want to.
To Disney World or a Disney cruise?
A Disney World.
Oh, well, I can't invite myself on your trips.
I don't give a fuck who go. I'm going to Disney. Like I was.
I mean, we can definitely do that.
Yeah, because
yes, and we will see you both, A Black H and Morgan, Spesh and whomever else.
Yes.
We would. We are looking forward to seeing you all at MAL.
It is soon, Spesh. Oh my God, it's so soon. Oh my God.
I know it's like a month and a half.
It's just like a month away. Oh my God.
Yeah, so let's look at 2023 and figure out where we want to go. I would want to do
I keep saying 2022, excuse me, not 2023.
Right. I want to do one of the Mediterranean cruises.
Oh my God, I love that.
Where we fly over to Barcelona, take the cruise, and then the cruise sails around the Mediterranean and ends in Rome. So we would do like 3 days in Barcelona,
my nipples are
a 7-day cruise, and then 3 days in Rome, and then fly home.
My nipples are getting hard.
Yes.
Come on for a Mediterranean cruise. I always want to do a Mediterranean cruise.
Yes, so we'll make it happen.
So, but anyway.
A 54-day cruise, yeah, girl, I can't afford
54-day cruise in 20.
Now, unless I could get...
Who the fuck?
Now, if I could get Wi-Fi and work from home on a cruise ship,
then I would consider that. But I don't even know if I can afford a 54-day cruise.
That cost.
What the fuck kind of price tag is? Spesh, you have to email me or message me or something, because what the fuck does a 54-day cruise cost look like? Not at your level, at the basic level.
I need to know what it is midway between his level and your level.
I need a basic
because for
level.
54 days, bitch, I need a balcony. There's no way I would have an inside room on a cruise ship for 54 days.
Bitch,
I wouldn't even do it for 7 days.
Bitch, listen.
Anywho, but we could continue having this conversation forever. $10,000, that's actually not bad for 54 days. For 54 days?
We were in this conversation here. Thank you so much. Listen, Special, we will have talked about this off air, but 10,000, what? Where's my drink? I can't. It's just.
All right. So with that, we will say, as always, thank you all for coming out. God bless you and good night.